Welcome back to the channel, guys and gals. So in the last video we talked about the 1950 cars, and y'all got to see me do some work to it. Now this is the baggage car that will be repainted, re-lettered, and named after my 16-year-old. He goes by the nickname of Texas Norm. So as I was looking at stuff, I was like, you know what? I got to go get some products so that I can put this in a primer, because, well, it's empty. And that is the u-pol. So, with that being said, I stopped at O'Reilly's, and O'Reilly's, thank God for their point system, because I really didn't know I had that much money in points built up. Just over the last couple of years of buying stuff from them. I picked up this Blazing and Spot Putty u-pol. Very, very good product. Again, it's a u-pol product, and I am very stoked about u-pol products. They are great stuff, great product all the way around. So I'll be using that to smooth out the roof. I also picked up some duplicolor charcoal gray metallic. Now, since I do go off a lot of photographs of what I was looking for, this was as close as I could get to the color they painted. I don't know if that was an actual silver or a gray or what. I couldn't really make it out. So I went with the best case scenario, which was this color right here. And so hopefully this turns out, hopefully that's the way I want it to. I really hope it does. If not, I got to swear this from something else later on, right? Also picked up sandable primer. Yes, it is the same product. Great stuff, great product. Love the u-pol stuff. Anybody says you can't use automotive stuff for doing model trains or model building? Yes, again. And I made mention of this in a previous video about the u-pol 2K Clear. Yes, fantastic professional diamond clear. u-pol clear. This works out really good. Now, there is a downside to this. When you use this stuff, if you have any left over, put it in the freezer. Okay? Keep it stored, because this stuff is only good for 24 hours if you don't. Once you get it out, put it in some water, warm water, not hot, but warm. Reheat it, use it up. Okay? That is one of the downside to a 2K Clear in the spray can. So this was not a bad product. It was not a bad price. It was roughly about, I'd say probably $2 more than the Speed Max. So this is the clear coat they'll be using on all my train cars from here on out. I am not going to clear coat the 1950 baggage car until I clear coat the Kiki Shero car. So that way I can use as much of it as possible at one time so I don't have a lot of waste. Again, if you've been watching this channel, you know I don't like to waste a lot of product because it does cost, right? Alright, so let's get started. I am going to smooth the roof out, and hopefully this won't take too long. u-pol, great product, again. Blazing putty. Great, great product. Look at that. And that is the color right there. Woo! That is yeah. Alright. So I'm going to make me a little paddle right here real quick. Again, this is, this type product is more for, you know, minor fill-ins, some little dings, you know, stuff like this. Last time I used some of this stuff, it was a year and a half on one tube. And I will have to do this on the other car as well. That will be lettered and renamed Rogue Angel after my youngest son. This stuff does dry up very quickly. As you can see, it's already set in place. So this stuff does, you know, definitely does this job. Okay, sorry, getting tongue tied there. But that smoothed out all the gouges that was in there. So see how much this stuff's actually got up. Ooh, very nice. All right, give me a few minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, so while we were waiting there for a second, which for me it was a couple of minutes, for y'all probably about, I don't know, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. It got before it started getting firm. So what I took was this little stick right here, and I kind of scraped off the excess, which worked out really good because it left what I needed for the fill in. And it's going to make it easier to do the sanding on it here in just a few minutes. I mean, this stuff sets up really, really good, nicely. So, and if you start to think you still may have some excess, just scrape it a little bit, kind of like a file, a body filler file, but it's the same principle. Alright, so some of this stuff is already like really dried up. So we'll take a look here. Tell you what, I'm going to give this just a couple more minutes. Because some I do feel a little bit of tackiness in there. We don't want any tackiness. We want it nice and firm before sanding. So let's take a break for just a minute and then we'll come right back and we'll sand this smooth. Alright guys, sorry about that. Okay, so we got it dry a little bit now, enough to sand it. I will say this paint was painted directly onto it. There's no primer underneath this. So that truly says that the guy was not really in a hurry, but was doing it his way, okay? There is brush strokes, and I noticed that on some of the other pieces. So again, that is, you know, very interesting that 1950 guys were still brush painting. Even though there was air stuff out there, not readily available as it is today. So I am going to use a little bit different grade on this one. Very, very lightly, and I'll use the 220 to go over it. This will just help knock down any of the high spots really quick. And we're not after to really. The bad part about it is, anytime I do anything like this, I wind up cleaning my truck for a week and a half afterwards. We're not applying a lot of hard pressure, very, very light pressure. So we're just have to knock that down. All right. Here's my little towel right here. Well, we knocked it down pretty good. Now to finish smoothing it. A couple little deep areas right there, which that's going to be okay. I mean, I'll deal with that. I don't want to be doing layer after layer on here, so. I want to try to keep as much of the original integrity of this project intact as possible. There you have it. One little spot right there that did not come out, but alright, so we're going to do another thin coat. I didn't want to do that, but looks like I'm going to need to. Alright, so we're going to let this dry up, and then we'll do another sanding on it. I probably won't film the other part of this, of the drying and the sanding of this again, but you get the problem. I'll do a part 2, and we'll be going into primer in part 2. So I've got to let this sit up for a little bit, and then I'll bring you back for part 2. As always, always, keep the shiny setup, rubber down. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit like and subscribe. Doesn't cost nothing. It's free. But as always, keep the shiny setup, rubber down. I'll see you on the next video, part 2. See y'all then.